Who is your number one option that you think could come out there and get the roof knocked off this place?
Okay, let's be realistic though. Like Erik Karlsson is like it's just not happening.
I mean, the Penguins loaned Chris Letang and Sidney Crosby to WWE last night. So why can't they just loan Erik Karlsson to us? It's not happening. I get it. It's not happening. If available, Erik Karlsson and Jean-Gabriel Pageau would be two of the top guys. Obviously, they're still playing. It's not going to happen. Yeah. When they retire, like, imagine Pageau came out with a chicken parm in each hand and just went fired up the crowd. It would be theater.
Just getting sauce everywhere.
Oh, yeah, all over it.
Okay, so my top guy for Game 3 that I believe would get the crowd most fired up, Chris Neil.
Yeah, that's a great call.
Right?
The one thing with Chris Neil is he's around all the time, right? So it doesn't have that. I thought about him. I thought about Mark Mathot. I thought about Chris Phillips. Those guys are around. And that's not to give any disrespect. I just think it has to be a special guest that you wouldn't always see around the CTC, which is why my number one choice is Clark MacArthur. The roof came off the building when he came back from his concussion and scored in Game 1 against Boston. That celebration is iconic. I think it's just taken a stick to the face. There's blood coming down, and he just unreal. Clark MacArthur, especially if they play the Leafs,
I don't think he's going to do it if they play the Leafs. I don't think so.
I do. I think he would. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I would love it, and that's a great choice. And that's a guy, though, I feel like younger Sens fans don't really get it.
Well, read a book.
Because he was out for so long and then he came back for the playoffs. So if you weren't invested emotionally in that season, you might not understand the passion and emotion behind what it meant for him to come back. But for those who know, they know it's a great choice.
Okay, I'll give you a 2 for then, because these two were attached at the hip and sometimes between the leg passes to the other. Imagine Clark MacArthur and Kyle Turris together.
Yeah, Kyle Turris would be a great one.
Most overtime goals in the playoffs in Sens history.
Yeah, so clutch. I like that. This is one that I think would be good. I don't know if the energy would be brought or if people would recognize it as much, but Derek Brassard I think would be a great one. Like, he had some massive moments in that run. He's buddies with Meth, so I'm sure Meth could convince him to do it. We haven't seen him really back in the Ottawa Senators circle. He was a 2-term Ottawa Senator. He came back.
Played with a lot of these guys who are on the ice.
That's a great point too. Yep. So I'm going big game Brass.
I don't mind that. I think he's more of like a Game 4 guy.
Yeah, I got Chris Neil Game 3, Brass Game 4.
Okay, I like that. I'm sticking with Clark MacArthur and Kyle Turris.
So maybe I misunderstood. I'm doing game by game.
Okay, so let's do Game 3, 4, 6 then. So I got Clark MacArthur game. I'll go Clark MacArthur Game 4 then. Kyle Turris Game 3, because he just had so many big moments through multiple years. 2012, that big overtime goal. 2013, he was electric. And 2017, he had 3 playoffs with Kyle Turris here. Then I'll go Clark MacArthur Game 4. And Game 6, I'm going to do a pick your own adventure. If they're playing the Toronto Maple Leafs, could you imagine if Dion Phaneuf came out?
He wouldn't do it.
I don't think he would do it. But the fact that he won more playoff series with Ottawa in 2 seasons than he did with the Leafs in 6?
A team captain.
I think that would just be amazing. But otherwise, Game 6, Craig Anderson.
Okay, that was my pick as well. So we're connected on that one. Game 6, I would love it for it to be Andy.
Is there a chance, though, that you look a little further back in the history books? Like, all of our guys are in the last decade.
And the 2017 run.
Right, exactly. But do you think that they look a little further back?
I don't think so.
No? Because there's a specific name, Pilsy.
But I want to tie it to the 2017 run. That's the whole thing, right? They haven't been back since then. Bring back that energy. Bring back those cast of characters to do it. In my opinion, that would be the way to do it.
Do you know who has the second most game-winning goals in Senators playoff history besides Daniel Alfredson? And of course, we've left Alfie out. This guy's going to be preparing for a game. He's
on the bench. He can't make it all the way down. Yeah. So yes. Game-winning goals, and it's from earlier on.
Alfie has 11. This player has 5. Nope. Hosa's tied with Fisher, Heatley, and Bobby Ryan with 3.
Okay, so I was close at least. Not Havlat.
Martin Havlat.
Huh. Okay.
Martin Havlat with 5 game-winning goals. He has 34 points as a member of the Ottawa Senators in the playoffs. I just think it's another guy that we just don't see around. The other one that we mentioned felt like Wade Redden could be in the mix here for sure. He obviously went a ton, but like these are guys that we've seen. He already got the Ring of Honor ceremony and all that. So I think if you're going to do that, like Craig Anderson had his Ring of Honor. Was it Ring of Honor or just a retirement thing? I forget.
No, not Ring of Honor.
He should be in the Ring of Honor. That's a story for another day. We
discussed that, yeah.
If it's not someone from the 2017 team, I just think Marty Havlat would fire up the generation that got to see them play in the playoffs every year.
Yeah. I don't hate it. But I for the first round, it's got to be 2017 cast members.
I'll give you a low-key one, a guy who they haven't seen in a while. Anton Volchenkov.
That's a Ross niche pick right there.
Do you know he's tied for 6th in games played in the playoffs in Sens history? Like,
did not know that.
Him and Radek Bonk are tied for 6th.
Wow.
But let us know in the comments. I think it's a fun conversation.
Definitely.
But I also think that it's going to be guys from the 2017 team. The last time they made the playoffs.
It should be.
Kyle Turris needs to be one of them. I think we can agree on that.
Yeah, I mean he wasn't one of my top 3 picks, but I would have no issue with that. Kyle Turris is a big part of the Ottawa Senators playoff story.